recording of this session. So I was discussing about that this moderation impact or moderated mediation impact is not significant. We can conclude over here that the moderated mediation impact is not significant over here. There is no any further guidelines provided over here as an indirect path. So we can say that due to this moderation, this indirect path becomes insignificant. Uh, we may somehow change the moderator if we want to change our moderator in order to see, just for example, if we want to see whether changing the moderator would resolve the issue, we can do it like we can use effective scheduling in place of flexible scheduling, and we can run the same model again. Just we have changed our moderator, and we want to see whether this will change the impact or not, whether it will change the moderated mediations values or not. So we need to wait for a couple of seconds in order to see whether the results has changed or not. So just wait for a couple of seconds and you will see the results, and here it is. So we need to see what results have changed. Yes, you can see the interaction impact is positive and it is statistically significant. It is equal to 0.05, and we can also see it here. Yes, in the index moderated mediation, you can see here that our index is positive, and you can see there is no negative value between upper level of confidence interval and lower level confidence interval. And you can also verify the t value also here. So you need to take this value, index of moderated mediation. You can put here, and you can take the bootstrap standard error from here, and you will find out the R square. Yes, the R square is greater than 1.96. It is exactly 2. So we can conclude here that the moderation or the moderated moderation is basically significant if we consider ES in place of the previous one that we were using. So previously we were using the different combination of variable. We were using the flexible scheduling. So this time I have used effective scheduling as a moderating variable. So this has changed the impact. So this is how you can analyze this situation. This is how you can analyze this type of model. So this case is complete. Now we will move towards the yes, we have done this in this scenario. There is another case, the case number 2 with moderated mediation model number 8. You can see this case, in this case, that the moderation is impacting not only the relationship between your independent and mediator, but also it is impacting the relationship between X and Y. So you can create model number 8 to looks like this. If you have a moderator which is not only impacting the mediator but also impacting the dependent variable, you can create model number 8. So we can apply this over here. We can go to the analyze, we can go to the regression, we go to the situation. We have a mediator, we have a moderator, but we are going to apply model number 8. It means this moderator which it not only impact the mediator, but also it will impact the dependent variable also. So you need to click OK button because the remaining settings are all okay. You need to click OK button and you will find the results that are as par of your Hayes process model number 8. So as per model number 8, your moderator will not only impact the relationship between your independent and mediator, but also it will impact the relationship between your independent and your dependent variable. So we will see the results. So the results have generated. You can see over here your dependent variable is PS, your independent variable is STT, your mediator is OS, and your moderator is ES, and we are using model number 8. So what model number 8 consider that your moderator would not only impact the relationship between mediator and independent variable, but also in relation to independent and dependent variable. So we can see here uh, acidity is impacting positively and it is significant. ES is impacting significantly positive. Intervention is positively and significantly impacting. R square is 0.78, 0.99. It means that 78.99% variation in the OS is explained by the variation in STT, ES, and interaction term. You can also see there is a significant change of positive R square. It means that R square has positively increased due to this analysis, or due to the inclusion of your dependent variable. You can also see, if we go towards our effects, PS is positively impacted by SGT, OS, ES, and interaction term. Here, basically, this is the interaction term which we have considered using this model. Because the same interaction term was between X and M, and same interaction term was between X and Y. So here we are considering the role of interaction for the second time in our model for the PS. So you can see that STT is positively impacting, OS is positively impacting, ES is also positively impacting, and you can see the interaction term impact is negative and it is highly significant. So what we conclude over here, we can conclude that uh, the moderation between X and M is significant, but it is weakly significant, while the moderation between X and Y is significant and it is highly significant. And you can also say the impact of X on Y is basically decreased due to inclusion of moderation. And you can see here that there is a negative sign with the interaction term. And you can also find here, yes, here the interaction term is indicating a positive impact. It means that in case of the interaction between these two, the direction has become stronger, or it has the moderator has made the impact of X on M somewhat stronger, and in case of X on Y, it has weakens the strength, or it has weakens the relationship. So negative sign indicates weakens the relationship, while the positive sign indicates the strength of relationship. It has made the relationship strong. So you can conclude like this. uh, Here you can find some more value, like you can find the index of moderated mediation, and you can see here they are somewhat, you can see that index of moderated mediation is somewhat significant. Anyhow, there is no zero between them, there is no negative between them. So somehow we can find out how much the value of t, so that we can be make sure that our moderated mediation is actually you can say that significant or not. So here we can find out, just a minute, why it is not working. Just a minute. Need to see how. This is 0.0090, 0.0090, and we need to put the standard error of this value, that 0.0054, 0.0054, and we need to find out the t value. The t value is less than 1.96, so it is indicating a weak, basically weak moderated mediation. So again, the moderated mediation is weak due to this relationship. Moderated mediation is weak. So we can conclude like this. So this is how model number 8 can be analyzed. In the same way, you can analyze the model number 9 when you have two moderators. If you have two moderator at a time and you are going to see their impact on the relationship between X and mediator, how can you analyze this? So let's move to model number 9, where you need to include two moderators. So let's suppose we want to analyze this situation. We go to process and ROAF phase. We have a mediator and we need to have two moderators. Let's suppose the second moderator is flexible scheduling. So this is the first moderator, this is the second moderator, and we need to use model number 9 over here. Click OK, and you need to wait for a couple of seconds to find out how this relationship is being examined over here. You can see the implication of model 9 over here. This is model 9. Whenever you have two moderator in relationship of your independent variable and your mediator, you need to use model number 9. So you can use it, and maybe results have generated. Yes, the result have been generated. You can see your dependent variable, your independent variable, your mediator, your first moderator, your second moderator, your sample size. Then you need to find out the first impact on OS, because the OS involves two moderator. So you need to see the impact of both moderator along with your independent variable. So you can find out over here the STT is positively impacting and it is statistically significant. The ES is positively impacting and it is statistically significant. The first interaction mean that you are taking the moderator of STT and ES. ES is basically your first moderator. So first moderator, that is the interaction term. The second moderator, that is the interaction term of the second moderator. So you can say here that your first moderator is positive, but its interaction term is not significant. It is, although it is positive, but it is not significant. In the same way, you can say that your second moderator is positive and weakly significant, while its interaction term is not significant. While you can also see the R change impact. Uh, the first due to first moderator, the R change is very low and it is not significant. Due to the inclusion of second moderator, there is nothing in R square change and it is also not significant. But when we consider the both moderator, we will see a positive R square change. You can see the value, which is weak p value, but it still shows that there is a significant R change impact, which is positive. And furthermore, we need to see the model outcomes, like PS is the outcome or main dependent variable. You can see the impact of SDT is positive and significant, then OS, it is positive and significant. R square is 87.9 5% and model statistically fit, you may have a direct impact, positive and statistically significant, but you need to see what you have from your indices of partial moderated mediation, because you have been using two uh, moderators, ES and FS, and you can see the ES value and FS value both are showing a negative value in lower level of confidence interval. So I have told you that if you are having a negative value or a zero between both uh, level, you may have an insignificant value of your mediation or moderation, mediated moderation. So we can conclude here that we have insignificant value of moderated mediation over here. So this is how you can apply moderated mediation model number 9. We are moving towards the last part of our today discussion, that is mediated moderation analysis. Previously, we were discussing moderated mediation analysis, and now we are discussing mediated moderation analysis. So what is this, and how we can use this type of analysis? Mediated moderation analysis is basically an analysis, a statistical technique that combines elements of both mediation analysis and moderation analysis. In this approach, the relationship between IV and a DV and a moderating variable is examined, and the mediation process is explored within different levels of the moderators. So in other words, it investigates whether the impact of an IV on DV is mediated by a third variable, and if this mediation process is moderated by another variable. So it will look like this. In the previous situation, we may have a moderation impact between either between X and M or between X and Y. But this time we have a moderating impact between uh, our mediator and our dependent variable. So in this situation, we may have a mediated moderation analysis. So what we need to do, we need to understand that this process requires the model number 14 as a conceptual diagram, which is most important diagram, and the statistical formation of this type of diagram requires that we need to consider our moderator variable as an independent variable for Y, because it is coming in relation between mediator and dependent variable. We need to consider that we need to multiply the effect of our mediator with the moderator in order to verify the interaction term effect on Y. So how we can apply this? We need, first of all, we need the purpose of mediated moderation analysis, understanding conditional mediation. So whenever you need to understand how conditional mediation applies, mediated moderation helps researcher understand whether the mediating process between a predictor and an outcome varies under different conditions or level of moderator. It provides the insight into the complexities of the mediation process across different groups or situations. Identifying moderated mediators. It helps identify variables that act as a mediator under certain conditions but not others. This is valuable for recognizing the conditions under which a particular mediating process is more or less influential. Contextualizing mediation effect. Mediated moderation allows researchers to contextualize mediation effect within the framework of a moderating variable. This is particularly useful when the impact of a predictor on an outcome may operate differently based on a varying level of another variable. Last but not the least is enhancing predictive understanding. By considering both mediation and moderation simultaneously, researcher can enhance their predictive understanding of how different variables interact and contribute to the variation in an outcome. This can lead to more precise predictions and targeted interventions. So, how this concept exemplify in different situations? Consider a study Consider a study examining the relationship between job stress, job satisfaction, and the moderating variable of social support. This study investigates whether the relationship between job stress and job satisfaction is mediated by work engagement and whether this mediation process is moderated by the level of social support. So independent variable would be job stress, mediator would be work engagement, moderator would be social support, job satisfaction would be. In this scenario, mediated moderation analysis would explore whether the impact of job stress on job satisfaction is mediated by work engagement and whether the strength of this mediation process varies based on different levels of social support. The study aims to understand not only the direct and mediated effect, but also how the mediation process is contingent on the level of social support. So this technique is particularly powerful in capturing the nuances of how variable interact and influence each other in a dynamic way, making it an essential tool for researchers interested in exploring complex relationship in their data. So what are the examples of mediated moderation analysis? Example one, employee training programs and job performance. Predictor variable that would be an independent variable is employee training programs participation. Mediator would be skills development, moderator would be job autonomy, outcome variable would be job performance. In this scenario, the study examines whether the relationship between participating in an employee training program and job performance is mediated by skills development and whether the strength of this mediation process is moderated by the level of autonomy. We may have a second example like customer satisfaction and loyalty in e-commerce. Our independent variable would be customer satisfaction, our mediator would be perceived value of product, our moderator would be online shopping experience, our dependent variable would be customer loyalty. Here, the study explores whether the relationship between customer satisfaction and loyalty is mediated by the perceived value of the product and whether the strength of this mediation process depends on the quality of online shopping experience. We may have a third example like leadership style and employee well-being. Predictor variable would be leadership style like transformational or transactional leadership. Mediator would be employee engagement. Moderator would be job flexibility. Outcome variable would be employee well-being. In this scenario, the study investigate whether this relationship between leadership style and employee well-being is mediated by employee engagement and whether this mediation process is moderated by the level of job flexibility. We may have a second last example like physical activity and mental health in older adults. So we may have a independent variable as a physical activity, we may have a mediator like social interaction, we may have a moderator like health status, we may have a outcome variable like mental health. In this example, the study examines whether the relationship between physical activity and the mental health is mediated by the social interaction and whether the strength of this mediation process varies based on the health status of older adults. We may have a last example that is relevant to marketing campaign and product adoption. We may have an independent variable like marketing campaign effectiveness. We may have a mediator like perceived product value. We may have a moderator like consumer income. We may have a outcome variable like product adoption. In this scenario, the study explore whether the impact of a marketing campaign on product adoption is mediated by perceived product value and whether the strength of this mediation process is moderated by the income level of consumer. So these are all examples where the mediated moderation basically applies. So I need to apply this scenario of mediated moderation into my model. I have independent variable, a dependent variable, a mediator, and a moderator, but I need to change the setting because this model indicates the application of model number 14. So we go with the present setting, we go to analyze, we go to the regression, we go to the process by Hayes, and you can see there is a mediator, there is a moderator 1, moderator 2. You need to exclude moderator 2, you need to consider only first moderator. So this is mediator, this is moderator, you have IV, DV, and you need to change the model number to model number 14. So it will consider that you want to see the impact of this moderator between your mediator and your y variable or dependent variable. While the other options remains the same, you just need to click the continue button, you need to click the OK button, and you will find the results in a couple of seconds. You need to wait and you will find the result. After the result will appear, I will interpret these results, and after interpreting these results, our session will be over for the advanced level of SPSS. So here are the results. Model 14, PS is the y or dependent variable, while SDT is the independent variable. M is the mediating variable, and W is that is ES, that is the moderating variable. Our sample is 456. You can see that SDT is positively and significantly impacting the OS with R square value 74.32, and model is statistically fit. You can see that STT is positively and significantly impacting PS. OS is positively and significantly impacting the PS. ES is positively and significantly impacting the PS, and your interaction term, which is basically the ES in the model, is basically decreasing the mediators impact, which is basically your mediator was ES. Your mediator was I think OS. So it is decreasing the impact of that mediator uh, with a significance value. You can see the R square, which is 89.99, and you can see the R square change, which is showing a significant change. So this model is basically significantly impacting our R square change, and it is positive. You can also see the direct and indirect impact over here. Yes, this is direct impact is positive and significant. You can see the index of moderated mediation. The value is negative, and both values are negative. If both values are negative, showing the similar signs, it means there is no zero between them. So if it is no zero between them, or only single value of them are negative, then we consider it as a insignificant. But if both values are negative or both values are positive, it means this impact is significant. So we can here we can take this value like minus value of index into our Excel sheet like this. We can take the standard error from here, bootstrapping standard error, and we can put this value over here, and we can find out this divided by this value. And yes, this is the t value, which is greater than 1.96. So we may consider the absolute value as a t value, and we can consider that this value is greater than 1.96. So the relationship, the results of this moderated mediation is basically significant, and it is decreasing the direct impact. So this is how we can interpret. Hope you understand the whole process, and this is basically the last part of my session today. And with this, we can conclude the haze process. So if you have any question relating to the haze process, you can ask. Otherwise, we should conclude our session. And at the last, I would like to let you know that tomorrow is Friday. What we need to do tomorrow, I would like to let you know. We will start our discussion on EFA and CFA. I will let you know how to install the smart PLS trial version because it is a paid version. So we need to use a trial version for 30 days. So I will let you know how to install the Smart PLS 4 trial version. I will let you know some basics like CFA using Smart PLS. I will let you know EFA using SPSS, EFA using SPSN, and CFA using Smart PLS tomorrow. And I will try to complete Smart PLS in 3 days. We need Friday, Saturday, and Sunday session to complete the Smart PLS because it would require the 3 days only in order to your learning part. So you will learn a lot of things using Smart PLS, like how to conduct the CFA, how to estimate the factor loadings, how to estimate the conversion validity, discriminant validity, how to find out the direct indirect impact, how to interpret the results, how to find out the measurement model, the structural equation in model, how you can apply the different scenarios, the multi-group analysis, and so on. So I would personally request all of you to please uh, join tomorrow's session because it is only a 3 day session for Smart PLS. We have completed our advanced level of SPSS today. It means we have completed the SPSS part. There is only EFA remaining that we will cover tomorrow along with the CFA, and we will cover some basics of PLS4 tomorrow, some basics regarding the basic terminology regarding the Smart PLS and structural equation modeling tomorrow. So I hope every one of you will join. And if you have any question, you may ask, or we may conclude this session. Do you anybody have any question? If you want to ask anything about today's session or for the upcoming tomorrow session, you may ask, or we may conclude this session. Please, anyone would let me know. Need to revise before question. All right, you need to see basically you need to see the recordings, and you need to basically do practice. So whatever you have learned, because I was going with the speed with my pace, we will review the slides and reach you out on any clarification. All right, all right. You can reach me, and I will let you remind to you again that from tomorrow we are going to start the structural equation modeling using Smart PLS, and it will be a 3 day session. It means 6 to 9 on Friday, 6 to 9 on Saturday, and 6 to 9 on Sunday. And it will take only 3 days to complete the Smart PLS. And the next weekend and the next week, we will cover the AMOS, the SPSS AMOS as a structural equation modeling in 3 days. So we have learned a lot. So let me conclude this session about today. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending this session. It was a wonderful session along with you people, and I hope that you have learned a lot. I hope that there will be a learning for both of us, for all of us, regarding the process by Hayes. And I hope that this learning help everybody regarding their mediation moderation process. So thank you everyone, thank you everyone again, and God bless you.